There's something truly unforgettable about completing a journey as long and challenging as the Eastern Continental Trail ECT. The day I finished, day 241, was packed with meaning, reflection, and a final push that had me both energized and contemplative about the miles behind me and those last few steps ahead. On that day, I covered a solid 19.7 miles, starting early before sunrise to seize every moment. I was hiking a section called the International Appalachian Trail IAT in Quebec, from mile 383.4 to 403.1, adding to my total tally of 4,696.5 miles hiked and 191.2 miles paddled throughout the entire trail journey. The weather was cooperative, with temperatures ranging comfortably between 50 and 70 Fahrenheit. Under mostly sunny skies. The elevation fluctuated from a low of just 13 feet to a high of 1,400 feet, perfect for a final day where I wanted a balance between challenge and enjoyment. I began at Les Lakes campsite, making my way to Land's End. As I set off in the early darkness, I was motivated and excited to make good progress. The day's itinerary showed just shy of 20 miles. And while sections appeared manageable on my navigation app, there were a couple of potentially steep ascents that could slow me down. But right from the start, I was moving fast. The finish line was within reach, and with rest beckoning on the horizon, my pace was brisk. Then, nature intervened. I came face to face with a moose blocking the path, standing calm but firm and accompanied by her two calves. Mother Moose wasn't budging, so I tried different tactics. Backing up to give them space, making gentle noises, waiting patiently. Nothing stirred, so finally I navigated carefully around through thickets of dense brush. They must have heard me, because when I returned to the trail, the moose family had quietly disappeared. Was this moment a gentle reminder from the trail itself to slow down, breathe, and honor the experience instead of rushing? From my years of through hiking, I've learned that these pauses often carry meaning, messages from nature if we're willing to listen. But this time, I was determined to press on. Finishing the ECT was non-negotiable, and I pushed forward with renewed determination. One of the early climbs led me up the first significant hill, where I looked back over the valley I'd descended from earlier. Then I followed the trail along a ridge that revealed the increasingly narrow shape of the peninsula beneath me. This was a moment where the landscape truly felt unique, a true sense of place. I took short detours along the way to viewpoints offering incredible panoramas. To my right, I spotted Gaspé Bay sprawled below, surprisingly dotted with settlements that contrasted with my mental image of remote wilderness. But I realized it was my vantage point from afar that made the civilization stand out, rather than any change to the wild character of Forillon National Park itself. A brief stop to prepare breakfast while boiling water brought me near some active beaver ponds, whose fresh flowing water I used for my drink. As I continued, I noticed that sometimes the actual trail didn't match perfectly with the route on my app, with one detour taking me downhill before climbing back up. Any frustration from these minor detours dissolved when I reached an immense lookout tower at the summit, a landmark signaling that the journey was really nearing its end. Standing alone atop the platform, I soaked in sweeping views in every direction. This spot was magical. It perfectly framed the climax of my months on trail. After descending from the tower, the path gradually led me closer to the south coast. The trail here was a joy to hike, narrow and flowing, with stunning vistas of the water along the way. Around midday, I transitioned from grassy trail to pavement, arriving at the end of the road where vehicles had to stop. Here, I reunited with my incredible support crew, Super Strider Cheryl and Dave H., the master trailsman. This kind of support is invaluable for through hikers, providing encouragement and logistics that make a huge difference. We had a quick lunch at the roadside before tackling the final 2.5 miles on foot together. Two trail options led to Cap Gaspé, a wide gravel path ideal for biking, and a more rugged hiking trail that is part of the IAT. We chose the gravel for our onward route, saving the hiking trail for our way back. The openness of the path, with frequent views over the water, added to the feeling this was something special. I had been following a kilometer marker countdown. When I first joined the IAT, it read 493 kilometers to go. Now there was only one left. And then, finally, the iconic red and white lighthouse at the edge of Cap Gaspé peeked out from behind foliage, making me grin uncontrollably. My parents gently gave me some space, sensing my need to take in the moment alone. Yet even here, it didn't feel completely like the finish line. A short trail still ran a little further, the Butte du Monde, or Land's End, just 375 meters away. A bit of history made this moment even more meaningful. This land is ancestral to the Mi'kmaq people. Their word Gaspé, meaning where the land ends, is believed to be the origin of the name Gaspé. Witnessing the peninsula stretch out earlier in the day and now standing at its cliff edge finale felt poetic and fitting as the place to complete my journey. The path down to Land's End was marked by one large switchback, first heading inland and downward, then sharply turning toward the precipice overlooking the vast ocean below. Unlike the emotional tears I shed when reaching Mount Katahdin, the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, this time my feelings were different. Pure joy, deep satisfaction, and excitement that I had achieved a goal set long ago. After taking some videos and photos to memorialize the moment, I realized I'd accidentally taken one shot in portrait mode, slightly blurring the images of my support team. A minor blunder, but a funny reminder of my exhaustion and excitement mixed together. With no more land left to walk, the reality of finishing sank in. After celebrating with laughter, photos, and silent gazing out at the horizon, we turned back. It was strange knowing that from this point onward, every step I took was no longer part of the trek, but the journey's aftermath. The abruptness of such a long adventure coming to an end is hard to grasp. Months of slow, steady progress condensed into one culminating moment. We made our way back up to the lighthouse for more photos and took time to enjoy the bright but breezy day. Before leaving Cap Gaspé behind, I still had 3 personal rituals to fulfill. The first 2 involved the gravel beach near the parking area, a stunning strip of shoreline framed by cliffs, with waves crashing rhythmically. Throughout the hike, I had carried a seashell,